Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه الطيبين الطاهرين. Let's make our intentions for the sake of Allah تبارك وتعالى. قال الشيخ رضي الله عنه في كتابه عمدة الراغب والإيمان بالصراط. كنا هنا نتكلم عن تفاصيل الشهادة الثانية. كنا ذكرنا الشهادة الأولى وما يتعلق بها من تفاصيل، وشرعنا في ذكر الشهادة الثانية، وذكرنا أن سيدنا محمدا عليه الصلاة والسلام هو رسول الله، ومعنى كونه رسول الله عليه الصلاة والسلام. ثم ذكرنا التفاصيل للشهادة الثانية ووصلنا إلى الإيمان بالصراط. فقال المؤلف والإيمان بالصراط وهو جسر يمد على ظهر جهنم فيرده الناس أحد طرفيه في الأرض المبدلة والطرف الآخر فيما يلي فيما يلي الجنة بعد النار. So the author, after mentioning the first testification of faith and the details that relate to it, and after mentioning the second testification of faith and its core meaning, which is that Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is the messenger of Allah, he began to mention details that are related to, that branch off believing in the Prophet as the Prophet of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam. And we reached speaking about the Sirat. So one must believe in the Sirat because the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam conveyed it to us. So one must believe in the Sirat. And what is it? It is a bridge that is stretched over literally the back of hellfire. So it's stretched over hellfire. Hellfire is underneath it. And people will pass over, so people will pass over it. One of its sides, so a bridge has two sides, doesn't it? So one of its sides is connected to the changed earth, al-ardu al-mubaddala. So remember we said that we have this earth that we're on now. This earth is going to be struck. كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا. The earth will be struck. ستدك الأرض. الدك is the striking of the earth. إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا. And when that happens, the mountains will shatter. And so everything will become flat. And we described how the earth would change in other ways also. And then the new earth, this new earth will be known as the changed earth. So that's where one of the sides or the edges, if you will, of the bridge, the Sirat, is. And then it stretches over hellfire. And the other side is connected to an area just before paradise. Okay, after the fire. And this bridge, it is slanted. So if this is, I know the page isn't straight, but if this was a level plane, let's say, and here was the changed earth, if you can see my arrow, if this was the changed earth, and this was the area before paradise, let's say, which is here, then this is actually slanted. It's like this. So it's an uphill struggle for whoever is walking on it. We've said, or have we? We haven't said yet. The pious, they will pass over it in its air. The prophets will pass over it, but those who have to walk over it, they will walk over it like this. So this is the change earth. They will step onto it. They will walk upwards like this. Okay. This is just for illustrative purposes, just to bring it closer to the understanding, nothing more. فيمر الناس فيما يسامت الصراط. The people will pass over the sirat. فيما يسامت, what is meaning that they won't go beyond the sirat. So if this is the sirat, if it was this thick, then people would either walk on it like this, they would either walk on it, or they would not touch it, but they would pass over it. Without touching the sirat, they would pass over it. So there won't be people going on the side of the sirat like this or this way. That's what yusamit means. If we use the word parallel, maybe that's how we would, what the word that we'd use there. فيمر الناس فيما يسامت الصراط فالمؤمنون في ذلك على قسمين. Those who pass over the sirat among the believers, they are of two categories. قسم لا يدوسون الصراط. There are a group of the Muslims that will not even step physically on the sirat. إنما يمرون في هوائه طائرين. Rather, they will pass over the sirat in its air, in the air of the sirat, in the air above the sirat, flying, طائرين. They will pass over it, طائرين, flying. وهؤلاء يصدق عليهم أنهم وردوها، أي وردوا النار، لأنه ليس من شرط الورود المذكور في القرآن بقوله تعالى وإن منكم إلا واردها دخولها. Okay, let me explain this before I give the translation. So there is an ayah in the Quran. This ayah in the Quran says وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا, talking about hellfire. Okay, it says literally there is no one except that they will waridu hellfire. Waridu hellfire. Warid, this word, it means everybody will warid hellfire. So what's being said here is that warid doesn't mean everybody will enter hellfire. Rather, what it means in the Arabic language is that people will pass over hellfire. Some will pass over it. Some will warid hell, will pass over it on the sirat and then actually fall in. So they are considered to have done wariding of hell and they entered it. And also the prophets, they will go above the sirat without touching the sirat and they will end up on the other side. And they, of course, won't enter hellfire. But it can still be said, because they passed over hell, that they warid, if you will, hell. This is more to do with the Arabic language. So I'm not going to say more than that, but that is the crux of it. Okay? So those people that fly over a sirat, which underneath which is hellfire, we can say about them that they did wurud, okay, this word that's used in the ayah, warid, wurud, okay, that they did that to hell, even if they didn't enter it, okay? So it's saying it's not a condition of wurud that you do entering. Wurud can mean just passing over as well, okay? وَقِسْمٌ يَدُوسُونَهُ, and another group of Muslims, the second batch of the category, is a group that يَدُوسُونَهُ, they step on the sirat, ثُمَّ هَؤُلَاءِ, then this is split into two also, okay? قِسْمٌ مِّنْهُمْ يُوقَعُونَ فِي النَّارِ, a group of them will fall into hell. وَقِسْمٌ يُنْجِيهِمُ اللَّهُ فَيَخْلُصُونَ مِنْهَا, and a group of them, Allah will protect them and they will be protected from the fire of hell. So, like that. The Muslims, they are of two categories, like this, if you just visualize that with me. There is a, stop putting labels on here, just like that. So the Muslims, let's say, are of two categories, okay? One category of Muslims, they will fly over the sirat over here. These are the prophets and the pious people. They will fly over the sirat. Then there is a second category. These people will actually walk on the sirat. Okay? Some of these people that walk on the sirat, they will fall into hell. And others will not fall into hell and they will get to the other side. Okay? Let's read at the bottom here. في صحيح مسلم أنه صلى الله عليه وسلم قال في وصف الصراط دحض مزلة فيه خطاطيف وكلاليب. I don't know what this word is. This is a plural word. I don't know if it's حسك or حسك. تكون بنجد فيها شويكة يقال لها perhaps السعدان. فيمر المؤمنون كطرف العين وكالبرق وكالريح وكالطير وكأجاويد الخيل. Subhanallah. This hadith, I need to review how it is, what the tashkil is on some of the words. But in summary, it says that the Prophet ﷺ described a sirat as very, very dangerous, and that there are hooks on this sirat. He said that the Muslims, the believers, they would pass over it, the pious believers, some in the blink of an eye, others as fast as a flash of lightning, others like the wind, others would fly over it, others like the best of horses. And it's mentioned the state of two types of people, some that would pass over it and be saved, and some that would be in hellfire. We ask Allah to make us among those who pass over it, كطرف في طرفة عين, as quick as the blink of an eye. والإيمان بالحوض وهو مكان أعد الله فيه شرابا لأهل الجنة. We must believe in the basin, the large body of water, which exists in the hereafter. And every prophet has a basin from which their followers, the Muslims, will drink. Likewise, our prophet has a basin, and it is the largest basin. It is a place prepared by Allah. In it is drink for the people of paradise. يشربون منه بعد عبور الصراط قبل دخول الجنة. They drink from it after passing over the sirat before entering paradise. فلا يصيبهم بعد ذلك ظمأ وإنما يشربون من شراب الجنة تلذذا. They will not, after drinking from it, they will not be afflicted with after drinking from the basin's water. They will not be, or the liquid that is there, they will not be thirsty again. Rather, they drink from the drinks of paradise for pleasure, not for the quenching of thirst. Here it is common for the Muslims to make dua and say, Allahumma rzuqna sharbatan min kaffi Rasulillah alayhi salatu wassalam. Ya Allah, grant us to drink from the basin of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam by the hand of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. May he be the one that aids us, and may we drink from his blessed hand alayhi salatu wassalam. Next, والإيمان بالشفاعة وهي تكون للمسلمين فقط. الشفاعة refers to requesting something good for someone else. هو طلب الخير للغير. To request something good for somebody else. This is known as الشفاعة. In other words, the intercession. الشفاعة هي طلب الخير للغير. And the shafa'a that is being spoken about here is the shafa'a in the hereafter. And this intercession, or these intercessions, because there are different types of shafa'a, these intercessions are only for the Muslims. The kafir, no matter how generous in this life, no matter how caring for the poor, or how selfless and how, no matter however altruistic this person may have been in this life, in the hereafter, nobody, if they died as non-Muslims, nobody will intercede for them, because they were upon misguidance. So the shafa'a is only for Muslims. Muslims intercede for Muslims. فالأنبياء يشفعون وكذلك العلماء العاملون وشهداء المعركة والملائكة. So the prophets intercede. The prophets will ask Allah to forgive such and such Muslim. Likewise, the scholars of application, the scholars that implement their knowledge. Likewise, and we hope that we We hope that we are with the the scholar of our time, our Sheikh Abdullah. We hope that he intercedes for us, inshallah. وَشُهَدَاءُ الْمَعْرَكَةِ, and the martyrs of the battlefield, they intercede for 70 among their family members, among the Muslims, among their family members. Those who will be deserving of punishment in hell, they will be able to intercede for them. This is as an honor to them. Allah granted them this because they gave their life for the sake of Allah in a way that the scholars mention. And likewise, the angels will intercede. وَالشَّفَاعَةُ هِيَ طَلَبُ الْخَيْرِ مِنَ الْغَيْرِ لِلْغَيْرِ. Intercession, ash-shafa'a, means to request something good from someone for someone else. So ash-shafa'a is the prophets or the angels or the pious people requesting a lessening of punishment that someone deserved. This is something that is good for them to be punished less than what they deserve. And they are requesting this from Allah. So they are requesting something good from Allah, and they're requesting that for someone else, not for themselves. So these intercessors, let's say. Let's change that. Those who intercede in the hereafter will request from Allah to lessen the torture that some of the other people deserved. They will do that for some of the sinful Muslims. ما قرأت. فالشفعاء في الآخرة يطلبون من الله إسقاط العقاب لبعض العصاة من المسلمين، وذلك قد يكون قبل دخول النار وقد يكون بعده. So those that intercede here we are, in the hereafter will make dua to Allah that Allah removes the punishment that some people deserved. Some people deserved. They ask Allah, Ya Allah, lessen this punishment so that if a person, because they missed, for example, obligatory prayers, they deserved to be in hellfire for a certain amount of time, the awliya or those that intercede will ask Allah to forgive this person and either to lessen what he deserves or to completely remove it. And this is for those sinful Muslims. And this intercession may be before the people enter hell, before those sinful Muslims enter hell, and it may be after. It may be that they enter hellfire, and then their sentence that they deserve is reduced. And of course, just to make a note here, there's a difference between someone deserving to be in hellfire and Allah having willed for them to be in hellfire for a certain time. For if we look at the first matter, deserving to be in hell as a Muslim for a while, deserving to be in hell because of some major sins that a person committed, this does not necessarily mean that that person would suffer that sentence, that that person would actually be in hellfire for that time that they deserve to be in hellfire for. Why? Because they may be forgiven. So although they accumulated all these sins, which equals a certain amount of time in hellfire, okay, it may be the case that they are forgiven. Either they don't go to hell at all, or their sentence is reduced. However, now let's look at something else. If somebody, if it's eternally been willed that this person will enter hell, then nothing can stop that. Nothing can stop that. Okay? والإيمان بالجنة وهي دار السلام أي دار النعيم المقيم الدائم. And then we must also, because we believe in Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, we must believe in the existence of paradise. Al-Jannah, the garden. Literally the garden. But it is this special place that Allah created. وَهِيَ دَارُ السَّلَامِ, the abode of peace. Meaning, that's literal, meaning the abode of endowments, the abode of luxury, the perpetual and everlasting abode of luxury. And the luxury, وَالنَّعِيمُ فِيهَا, the luxury within it is of two types. نعيم لا يناله إلا الأتقياء ونعيم يناله كل أهل الجنة. The first type of luxury is that which is attained only by the pious and those that are above them in rank. It is only attained by the pious people and those that are of a higher rank than them, like the prophets and the awliya. So the pious people, there are luxuries in paradise that are specific to them. And then there are luxuries that everyone in paradise attains. These are general. I mean, they're still fantastic and amazing, but these are for everyone in paradise. ومن هذا النعيم العام أن أهل الجنة كلهم شباب لا يهرمون أبدا وكلهم أصحاء لا يسقمون أي لا يمرضون أبدا وكلهم في سرور لا يصيبهم هم ولا حزن ونكد وكرب وكلهم يبقون أحياء في نعيم دائم لا يموتون أبدا. Among this general luxury and the general endowment, the general luxury, we'll stick with that, is that the people of paradise, all of them are shabab. A shab is someone young. It's been narrated that they will be at the age of 33. Even if they died younger than that or older than that, they will be at the age of 33 in their prime, in a state of optimum physical condition. They will never become old. They will all be healthy and never fall ill. They will all be in joy and will never be afflicted with worry, sadness, agitation, and karb, against anxiety and deep worry. All of them remain alive in paradise in this everlasting luxury, and they will never die. And they will never die. We'll stop here today. Subhanallah. If anybody has a question about anything I mentioned, then please go ahead. If I'm able to answer it, inshallah, I will. But we will stop here today before continuing on with the next matter, which is the people seeing Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, and Allah is without place, and so on, inshallah. We'll mention that next week. If there is a question, then do ask. We'll say La ilaha illallah and as-salah ala nabi. Is the basin al-Kawthar? No. Al-Kawthar is in paradise. Al-Kawthar is in paradise. Does the basin, is one of its sources Al-Kawthar? Allah knows best. لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم بارك الله فيكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.